the world gone.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we are once again for another edition, The Point Walk to Walk, sports talk, where our goal is to help fans, players, and coaches become more intellectual inside the game. Now, of course, as you know, we've been having these conversations for years and years and years and years. It's just three guys having the conversation. You know, we've got old school views, and we definitely have new school news. So we have more of that tonight. So, fellas, what's going on with you?
What's happening, man? What's going on?
Good to be back. Good to be back on again.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it is good to be back. You know, tonight is a little different. We're gonna just kind of do a little hodgepodge, potpourri of things to talk about. One of the things that I think is important to talk about is still, and then we're going to finish up from our last telecast. We're going to talk a little bit about the All-Star game, the what's going on, the drama and the things concerning the All-Star game, kind of the format. I want to kind of talk about that, kind of get some clarity on that. And then I kind of want to just jump around and just touch on some things. We had mentioned that, you know, it's important that we touch on the Kaminga situation, which has been exacerbated or heightened, however you want to see it, based on Jimmy Butler's injury, and it puts the organization in a different uh, circumstance. And I've got some thoughts on that. Also, I'd like to talk about a couple NBA rules that I think need to be changed. More specifically, the challenge rule. It needs to be a little bit different, and whatever else we might come up with tonight. So don't go away. Hang tight. We'll be right back.
In the world gone.
Hello. Here we go. First topic on the board tonight. We're gonna talk about the All-Star game again. We finished it out from the last conversation. Now, my big beef, and I'm gonna let you guys walk with it. My big beef, and I love him. I'm a big fan of his, but when the player gets in the twilight of his career, I have no problems with ceremonious appointments to the team. You know how that goes. It's kind of like a legacy thing. But I'm not sure how I feel about Steph Curry. Yes, the chef getting the start in the All-Star game over Anthony Edwards, even though I know that the 50% is voted on by the fan, the players have another 25%, and the media has another 25%. But still, I hate seeing Ant-Man not in the starting lineup. What do you guys think about that?
Go ahead, Craig.
Well, I think it's if he were to start, I think it's justified.
How?
No, if Ant were to start, I think it would be
Ant.
justifiable.
For sure.
Yeah, it'd be justifiable. Yeah, because I think he's elevated himself to the consistency of a superstar to where he's at now, and on a consistently nightly basis, he is that superstar out on the floor. So and he brings a lot to the table. From being able to score it, to be able to defend it, to be able to rebound it, and then to give you that exciting wow play when he's playing during the game. So I think he's elevated himself to that. But as you know, and I'm like you, I don't think you're wrong for not having Steph Curry start either, though. Because he's still playing at a
Both
pretty high
ways.
level. He's still shooting that thing at a high level, and he has less talent with where he's at now.
He's just inconsistent. He's inconsistent. He hasn't had a consistent year. However, like I said, Troy, it's the way they vote him in. He was voted in.
Right.
So you can't say anything now. If Ant-Man would have got voted in over him, I wouldn't have had a problem. Like Craig said, I wouldn't have had a problem with that either. He was voted in. It's an extravaganza and it's a show. It's an all-star game.
Right.
So I don't have a problem either way. I don't have a problem with LeBron not starting. LeBron is having a better year, in my opinion, than Steph is having.
Well, of course, yeah.
Okay,
but LeBron deserves to be on the. I mean, LeBron legitimately is an all-star. I think Steph is a ceremonious addition. And
But
I think he's the most forgiven superstar in the league. When he has, like you said, he's been inconsistent. Steph is, man. When he has a off night, when he has 15 or 16, they get blown out. You don't see the what is it? You don't hear all of the noise about his performances like you might hear about LeBron.
Yeah.
He's more he gets passes more than the average
He's
superstar has
more
got.
fan friendly. He's more
You could
fan
be
Yeah.
friendly.
right. You could be right.
Yeah.
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 Could be
I don't know.
right.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if it's I mean, it is fan friendliness because he's such a good person. He's such a class act, and he's
Right.
obviously an ambassador, and he's changed the game. He's one of the game's change makers. So I have no problem with him on the All-Star team. And ceremoniously, when what was it? Vince Carter that gave MJ the starting spot his last year with the Wizards. And to me, that's classy. Hey, man, this is your last year. You're the all-time great. I'm not starting over you. He refused to start over MJ. Now I get that. But
I can
Steph,
see them doing that for LeBron this year. I can see somebody doing it for LeBron.
right.
Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, but let me tell you this. I don't think it would necessarily be necessary unless they're in their tour year. If this was if this is his farewell season, yes for
Right.
LeBron. If it's the farewell season for Steph, yes for Steph. Otherwise, man, you all the other guys are all stars, and who I think it should be now. I think it should be based on merit, and I guess the fan voting. And if he won the vote, then it's merited. But that's interesting, given that the players and media split the other 50%. It's not just all the fans. So his respect is still there because obviously
Right.
the players, are voting. But when the media loves that man.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Of course.
And so then he gets the votes that he needs to start. It is
there
what it
it is.
is.
He's 38. He's 38. So you better enjoy him while you can.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Better enjoy him, man.
Now this is
You know?
it's an interesting format for the game. I still can't put my finger on how this is going. Like you got because it threw me off when they voted the starters for the West and the starters for the East, because I thought that the European players, I mean the international players were just going to be on a team, and that the East and West were going to be represented by American players. Am I off with that? Do you guys know exactly how
I
that's
don't know
going?
exactly how they're doing that. I don't know.
Be-
I don't know how are they going to do it? I mean, they can't have 2 games. How
No, they're
you
having
No,
a
they're
little
gonna have
round
3.
robin, 12 minute,
Yes. Yeah.
12-minute
12-minute
games. But
games.
I
One
want
international, two NBA teams.
I want to see the international players playing against the U.S. players. Period. I want to see how the Americans can fare. Like to me, that's the most interesting thing you could do, because like you said, Ed, I don't care who the international players have. It's not going to be easy.
No,
So
not at all.
I want to see that clash.
Yeah.
Well, I
Well,
think
they're
that's
gonna clash.
yeah.
Go ahead, Craig.
I think that's where the All-Star game has gotten to, because it's been such of a All-Star rec game that they want to bring back in the competitive nature of the game.
You heard what
You
Wemby
know?
said, right?
Yeah.
His
What'd he say?
challenge to all the players, his challenge was, let's make this real. I'm going to compete and go hard, and I challenge all the other players to do the same. Bring their A
But
game.
you know what's crazy is, why did it take a young cat like that to weigh in on it and be like, man, we need to come here and let this be an all-star game where we're competing.
Yeah.
Because that's what back when back in the days of Bird, Magic, Jordan, Isaiah,
Yeah.
all the Dominique, they
Real
played.
games. Yeah,
But
they were
think what
coming.
his
Yeah.
motivation for saying that is, Craig. He's saying that because he wants it to be real, because he expects the world team to beat the American.
Right. No, that's what he's believing. But he's
And he
setting
want-
himself
and-
up because he
and
believes.
he doesn't want there to be no bullshit like, oh, the game that wasn't a real game and it was just an exhibition. No, he wants them to go hard like the old days so they can see what's up. That's what
Yeah.
that's what Big Boy once, Wemby once, which
Right.
I respect that, man.
Well, he believes in the heart of hearts that they should have won the Olympics, just a couple years ago, and
They
I think he probably believes going forward that they have the nod.
Well,
You
that
know,
man saved them that we were talking about earlier. If it wasn't for Steph, they might have done it.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes,
true.
yeah, yes,
That's
I mean,
true.
what he
yes,
did, and he wasn't even having the greatest tournament, but what he did down the stretch was, golly,
yeah.
you got to
Yeah,
just
Y-
tip
You
your
know,
hat.
yeah.
and the same thing with Kobe. Kobe had to bail him out
That
when they,
the defensive play, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Dwayne Wade. It was the two plays. It was one by Kobe on D, and
yeah,
that take by Dwayne Wade. Otherwise, Spain would have got us.
They was in
right,
trouble. Yeah,
right.
you're right. You're
So
right.
we're yes. That's why that's why it's so imperative that our grassroots program gets better. That's why it's imperative, because you're about to see the fallout of all of those grassroots fundamentals going by
Mm-hmm.
the wayside. This time when we watch it, we'll be like, man, we really enjoyed because I don't enjoy watching them score 200 points.
I haven't
Nobody
watched
enjoys
No,
one
that.
not at all.
game.
Not at all.
I
No,
don't think I've
Man,
watched.
no.
yeah,
I haven't watched in 2 years. I don't think.
yeah. I don't watch that. Yes, yeah. I'd
Hey man,
love to get back to.
considering what I've been seeing in college though, if the Olympics is another 3 years away, or, 2 years
Yeah,
away,
yeah.
we
Yeah,
got some dogs coming. They're gonna be
Yeah,
some
we
young
do.
puppies, but they're gonna be nice, man.
oh
Caleb
yeah,
Caleb. There's a
Yeah,
few cats
they're
gonna be coming
coming.
out, man. It's just
They're
yeah,
coming. I swear they're coming.
yeah.
But Ed, correct to your point about the grassroots and the game needs to evolve, continue to evolve. Well, remarkably, and I got re-registered. Ed and I both got re-registered like last week because I dug up the 1970 and 1972 All-Star games, respectively, and we watched those games, and I had to just I was taken aback because the game really has evolved. I mean,
Yeah.
right.
the fundamental play is what it is because when I was sitting out there watching, I was like, okay, Jerry West, his game is clean, and I could think about Kneppel and how his game is clean, and I can all the new players that are coming to the game bringing that that high value technique approach to the game. And
Mm-hmm.
but to watch those 72 guys and the 70 guys, the game has evolved. Trust me.
Yeah,
I'm Troy Miles, and I am here to tell you about the virtual game of basketball. Yes. The math, physics, and fundamentals, forward by Lenny Wilkins. If you haven't read this book, it's time to cop a copy. Time to cop a copy. Indeedy. Anyway, if you love basketball, you will love the virtual game of basketball. Really, it's the martial arts of basketball, all wrapped up into a nice little, easy to digest book. You'll love it. Trust me on that.
In a world gone free.
We got some more All-Star
Next-
things to talk about, man.
No.
Hey,
Go ahead.
real quick,
Come on,
Troy.
Wait. Hold on. What, you have what now?
I was just saying,
You
let
said
me
we
have
have
All-Star thing to talk about. If Anthony Edwards, I'm thinking if Anthony Edwards is going to be a reserve, right, at a 2 spot.
Yeah.
What about Murray? And what about Booker? What about these guys? Who's gonna get left out? See, so all of them can't make it. Once again, somebody gonna get pushed out again, right? See, we talked about that a few weeks ago.
Right.
Yeah, but we were expecting Curry to be amongst the selection, so it's not like
Reserves.
Curry. But the thing is, because it's still a spot, so the spot didn't change. It just kind of changed the order of things. We thought that Edwards would be above Curry, but the playing time varies varies. But I don't think that somebody always gets snubbed. But think about it, you got gonna in the West, you're still gonna have the same characters.
Right.
Obvious is gonna make the All-Star team. I really
You
believe
sure?
that.
Are you
He's gonna
sure?
get voted in, but yeah, man, he's too
It's-
talented not to. He's gonna get
Oh.
who's in. I mean, he has to make the team. Otherwise, I mean, my opinion.
How? He has to make the team.
Denny Avia has to make the team. Who's gonna in the West? Who's gonna make the even if he's on
It's
the international team, he's got to make it.
the game is at the end to it. Okay, so either
Kawhi gonna make it,
Harden or Kawhi gonna make it. One of them.
or both,
Or both. If that's the case, then that's another one. Booker. It's all guards. See, so it's gonna be touchy, man. And I know we're forgetting about some cats.
I know, but think about this too. This is the first year that the All-Star game has been positionless voting. So the top dogs are going. It's not like it's limited spots because you got to pick this guy.
I don't know if both. I don't know if both Kawhi and James make it. One of the two for sure.
I don't think so either. I don't think so. I think Kawhi's gonna make it.
One of them gets it.
I think Kawhi makes it.
Who's that?
Honestly, Kawhi. I think Kawhi makes it.
But I've been watching a lot of the games, and I guess Ed, you know more than I do, but maybe Harden doesn't make it because of inconsistency. Because whenever I catch him and he's locked in, good God,
He be cooking, man. He cooks. Yes,
doesn't he?
He cooks. Oh,
so
yeah, he's having a pretty good year.
Yeah, I'm not mad if either one of those guys makes the team. I clearly understand that if they don't, but to me, and I haven't been paying attention to their status. Ed, what are the Clippers? Where are they in the standings?
I'm not sure. I'd be lying if I told you, man. I'm not sure.
Because if they're low seed, then they're both not going to make it.
Well,
I don't
know. You still got Houston. You still got other players. Houston, you got KD. Who else you got? You got
KD has talk about inconsistent. KD,
he's making it though.
But he's the ceremonious pick though.
He'll be there.
And I'm not sure if Sengun has logged enough floor time because he's been out of the lineup so much. I mean, he's a monster too, but he's been hurt a lot. So
if he
doesn't make it, I mean, he's an all-star caliber player without a doubt.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But
for sure.
It's frustrating watching Kevin Durant. Now, maybe it's because you know how the thing is that the veterans understand that the season might as well be the preseason. The veterans are playing for the playoffs, so they're kind of pacing themselves. So I understand that they can coast sometime, and KD has the luxury to coast a little bit because they've got some up and comers on that team. Jabari Smith Jr., Reed Shepard. Those guys are tough. Even Okogie is tough. Yeah. Not Okogie, but Thompson. Thompson, like I told you, those Thompson twins to me are amazing what they're able to do because they're freak athletes, but their floor games both are nice.
They're solid basketball players along with being freak athletes.
Absolutely.
Yes. I've been impressed with them since they come into the league.
That's right, man. So I can see how Houston has maybe puts KD in the position where he's letting the young players develop and not taking over as much because he coasts too much for my taste. I'm a betting man. He coasts a little bit, and and then you have who else in the West? You've got who's playing well.
Utah.
Actually, you know what?
Marketing. Marketing should be there.
But marketing. But let me tell you something. And I think you mentioned this a while back, Ed. You gotta give. Everybody talks about him because of all his antics and all the superfluous things he does in and around the game. But I got mad respect for Dylan Brooks, man, with how he's been able to transform himself into a different role. He's playing at the All-Star Clip. He's not going to make it.
He's effective though. He's very effective.
He's playing at an All-Star Clip. That young man is, and don't sleep on things because they get solid play every night from Grayson Allen. The big boy Williams is helping them. They've got and they got the return of Jalen Green to the lineup the last couple of games.
Right.
Yes, he's been out of the lineup. So he's back now. So Phoenix is actually quietly having a successful season, and Dylan Brooks has brought tough-mindedness to their team. They play D, and like I
Yeah.
said, he does all that Mad Max stuff, but he's effective inside that role. I
Yes.
can really appreciate that. All right, so
In the world
fellas,
of
moving on down the road a little bit, real quickly.
no.
I just want to touch on the Jonathan Kuminga situation. Ed, that's your team. Let you start off with that. What your feelings are about the Kaminga situation?
Well, you know, we've talked about the way Kerr treated Tatum in the Olympics. You know, I
Can't
don't know
unsee
what
that.
his I don't know what his mindset is and how he could. I think he's a good coach. I don't know how he can get his mindset to where he can't find a second for Tatum and particularly
That's cruel
Kaminga
and
to
unusual.
play. For Kaminga not to play the way the way the Golden State is playing, I don't understand why they haven't incorporated him into the game at sometime this year. They gave him a shot early, and now they benched him. I think they just sit him and let him sit, but it's affecting his trade value. All right. Remember, I hit you. I said, man, Butler's hurt, man. I'm gonna see how they're gonna deal with Kaminga. They played him last night. He had 20. They lost,
20
but he had 20 and was
in
and was
21
going.
minutes.
And 20 and 21 minutes. He's effective. There's no way that
Mhm.
Kerr and that team should have incorporated him into that team, man. I don't understand it. You know, I hate to think it's personal. You know, we've all been with coaches who, you know, the ego was bigger than I guess the success of the team. I've had
The
coaches like that.
decision
I
making,
played for
yeah.
coaches that,
Yeah.
yeah. So they'll make a decision on players or systems or run offenses that are not effective or conducive to the talent that they have. I don't know what's up with Kerr.
Right.
You know, I would say that he's a good coach. I've always thought he's a good coach, but like you said, man, I can't unsee what he's doing to these players, man. I can't.
Well, particularly in the situation with Golden State, where you know, as a coach, I understand that sometimes there's chemistry issues, and you have to make decisions in the moment based on you're there every day in practice. You know them more than anybody
Mhm.
else. But he's so talented, and the knock on him is that sometimes he makes mistakes. But when I watch Golden State, they got a team full of guys that make
Who
mistakes,
make
and they're able
mistakes.
to
There
play
you
through those
go.
mistakes.
Yep.
Even when Curry was a puppy,
Yeah.
him and Clay had the opportunity to play through mistakes. So
Mhm.
I just can't now. I have an affinity for and a soft spot for coaches like Pop that have a political heart, and
Yeah.
Steve Kerr seems to have that. But like I said, I can't unsee him not playing Jason Tatum at all because you're willing to ruin someone's experience, Olympic experience. If you're willing to do that, then you got to have this should be there should be a
Something's not
legitimate
right.
reason for that,
Yeah.
other than
Yeah.
you can't figure out how to put them in the mix on short notice.
Mhm.
I don't buy that. That's cruel and
Yeah.
unusual. So I think that plays into the to the scenario. Now I'm the kind of guy. I this is emotional speak. But if I'm Kaminga, I'm thinking,
I know
nah,
what you're gonna
I'm
say.
good. I don't want to go out
My,
there and get hurt. And
yeah.
I'll y'all just get me up out of here. I don't want to get hurt playing for y'all. Now that
Yeah.
would be wrong too because they could use
You
that
can't.
see what kind of the
Yeah,
kind of
you got to be
attitude. No, you can't do
professional. He did exactly what he's
that.
supposed to do. Get on the court and crush him.
And
And,
get
and it'd
down
be even
and
nastier
get
if he
down.
gets on and he's really playing well consistently. Then that's gonna be looked bad
Yeah.
on Kerr and
I,
the team. See?
you go back to the Tate, and nobody's in practice every day and playing through
Yeah.
situations and what coaches are asking for and what the chemistry is asking it to be for you to be a different player like that. When I watched him play with the Olympics, it had to be he just didn't trust his play in certain situations, and I think they got to a point where they weren't they they weren't they weren't beating people on a point where now I got to go with my dogs and I got to trust my dogs that are going to make consistent
Yeah.
plays that we need to
Mm-hmm.
win at a highest level.
Yes.
I think that's the position that Tatum got into. Is I don't know if maybe I've seen enough in practice or when we've played in games or at certain situations where we don't have that margin of error. So now I just go with who I trust, and that's what you do. With Kaminga, I think it's
How do you not
just
trust the first team All NBA? How do you not trust the first
because
team All NBA player?
everybody's an All NBA player don't mean that they might be an All NBA player with their team. You know, that all NBA don't mean that I'm All NBA when I get together with all these players that I'm playing with. Now you begin to separate who's all NBA and who's just All NBA. You know,
Yeah.
that's where I think the
Well,
difference kind of is.
to that point, we all know who they voted team captain. The players did.
Yeah.
Who did they
Was it
vote
Kirk?
as their guy?
LeBron?
LeBron James.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Mhm.
so
course.
you know, you trust, and those are certain those, and I think just like I said, I don't think their margin of error wasn't what it used to be, where everybody's gonna,
Mhm.
this ain't the 92 Olympics where, man, Michael's only gonna play 16 minutes. You know, we
Yeah,
passed that
this
time
dude didn't
now,
play at
and it's gonna be that way
Craig,
in
he
the
didn't play
next
at
Olympics.
all though. He didn't play
Not
at
one
all.
minute.
He didn't play him at all. So that I don't get it. At
Yeah.
all?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
You was gonna say something about Kaminga, Craig.
Well, I think. Well, the thing I think, and I think it comes back to Kerr in the same situation with Kaminga. I just think
Mhm.
he's had enough of him to not trust his game and his system. I don't think it's not Kaminga the player, because he's got to go to a place where he needs to go where they can just let him run and go. Because I don't think
He can
he's ever going to be
freestyle.
one of
Yep.
those that you're going to look at.
Yeah.
You're not going to ever look at him and go, "Oh man, that was such a smart read by him or a smart play." But you will say, "God," because you do say that because
He
he
can
has
go.
that in him. Now they
Yeah.
need
Yeah, he does.
they actually need that they need that in Golden State. I just don't
Yeah,
know
but
if he
it's not
knows
like
how.
they're.
Yeah, because they're not athletic
You
enough
gotta
by
explore
anybody.
that though. They're not
Yeah.
winning.
Yes.
They're not like
No.
killing. They
Well,
got to explore that. They're having the mid
A
season.
mediocre
So they
year.
should
You're right.
explore.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They
I
yeah,
should be
agree.
and
exploring.
they're not
We
going to
can't
beat
afford
anybody.
to
They're
leave
not
him on
going to
the
beat
bench.
anybody this year.
No.
And they
No.
weren't
No.
even with Butler. I think you're starting to see the wear and tear on some of those guys, like a Steph,
Butler
Yeah.
for
like
sure.
a Draymond, like Butler. It's you get to
For
that
sure.
point
Yeah.
where for them to win, they have to play at their highest levels to beat the top
Yes.
teams in the West. And they just don't have it anymore. It's almost they're almost at a point where it has to be almost a like, we got to start trading this off and trying to get this. But what they're not going to do is they're probably not going to upset the apple cart, which it comes to Steph. So they're gonna have to they
Yeah.
gotta
But
come to this, this meeting of the mind and be like, hey, we gotta do a tear down and rebuild or something, because they're not going anywhere in the West.
Well, I think let me
the-
tell you what I think about Jimmy Butler, and I'm sorry he got hurt, but
Yeah.
I think when he was in Miami for sure, and his first year. Well, how long has he been with this? This is his third year with the Warriors.
I think it's his
Yes.
second.
Third
This is second year.
second.
Is it his
No, it's
second?
second. Yeah,
Second
because he
year.
came in
Okay.
yesterday
Yeah.
last year during
Last year
Yeah.
he brought that dog to the table.
Right.
This year he's kind of playing at a different speed. Am I off base? He's not. I see
think you
spots
can
where
say
he
that.
takes over, but
Well, I think
but
he's
it
at
seems
that
like
point in
he's
his
been
career
more
though.
passive.
Yeah.
He's more passive.
Yeah. Well, I think he's at that point in his career where I think even Steph is at that point in your career where you gotta
They can't
pick
do
and choose.
LeBron. So you're saying they can't do they can't do the LeBron thing? Is what you're saying?
Well, LeBron's in the same spot too. I mean,
No, I mean
I watch.
LeBron is a legitimate all-star. So he brings it. Every time I watch, he brings it.
Yeah, we'll see when it comes playoff time.
Wait.
I don't
Playoff
think
time,
you have to
man.
worry about it.
And Lakers
He-
don't play any D, man. Quit playing.
Yes, they play
Yeah,
no D.
they don't-
None. He's turning the ball
They
over a
play
lot more
no
than he
D.
normally does too. He's
He
turning the
did,
ball over
and
a
he's
lot
holding
more
on to it more.
Yes.
LB?
Yeah,
Yeah, he is.
he's holding it more.
Last thing about
I was
Kaminga.
watching, like it was. Yeah, go ahead.
No. Oh, I was just gonna say.
ahead.
Last thing about Kaminga is we talking about Golden State is in the point where they're going to have to make some personnel decisions at some point in time. That's why I'm so.
Right.
It shocks me that they're giving up on this young talent. You see what I'm saying? It seemed like they would continue to
Right.
incorporate him in and let him just ease his way into it. Regardless if he's making mistakes or whatever. Like Troy was saying, most of the teams make mistakes.
Podzimski's making mistakes.
And Kurt normally he goes 10 deep at every night. He's 10 deep. You see what I'm saying? He plays damn near everybody, at least 9.
But he doesn't play Jackson Davis enough for my taste either. Why doesn't that kid play?
I agree. He was playing him like 2 weeks ago a lot. Now he's not. See.
Well, and that's sometimes I don't get that. I don't get that because I even said that. Well, last year that kid would play a lot for them, but then I also go back to where this really all started was when they drafted the one kid, the number 1 pick, the kid that's not. I don't even know if he's in the league anymore.
Jordan Poole?
No.
Oh, Wiseman.
Yeah, Wiseman.
Was it Wiseman?
Yeah,
it was.
He's not in the league. You're right.
Yeah.
Was that the number 2 pick?
He was the number 2
Was he
pick.
the number 2
pick? They
pick?
gave up on him too soon too.
Yeah,
I thought they gave up on him too soon. Yeah.
That set the organization back if you fail on the 2nd pick in the draft.
Yeah.
Well, so now you're saying that you failed on because what was Kaminga? What was he? 11? 14?
So is there a pattern of developing players, not young players? So is it that young players don't develop in the Kerr system?
It could be. It could be. Because
Craig, we remembered. Because Craig, we remember as youngsters, George Karl would not play no rookies, second year. He's not playing you. George Karl would just not play you.
Yeah. Well,
I think it has a lot to do with the
to be truthful,
Golden State system, not the talent. It's their system. Golden State system is what the problem is. I think for the rookie players.
Which is not novel or new anymore. And you like Craig said a couple weeks ago, you don't have the freak brothers. You don't have Clay and Steph. You're running the same schemes that you've been doing for the league is catching up to that. Maybe is that what it is?
Yeah. Oh,
and the thing is remember,
he said they already caught up, huh?
His system just fit the players that Mark Jackson had developed. Because it was Mark Jackson who really. Steph and Clay, that was Mark Jackson, which give that man a job.
Who drafted Draymond? Who drafted Draymond?
Myers.
Did Kerr draft Draymond?
No,
Myers did. Yeah.
Kerr was there though, wasn't he?
Kerr had an influence on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. I think he was.
And how many years has Bob Myers been off the table? Is this his second year?
I'm going to say 3. I'm going to say his 3rd. I think it's his 3rd.
This is his 3rd year.
That's hurt. That hurt because that'd be like imagine if Sam Presti wasn't if Sam Presti wasn't calling the shots in OKC.
Right.
It would change things.
Yep.
Dunleavy's there now. Dunleavy's making the calls. Mike Dunleavy.
And I didn't appreciate what Dunleavy was saying about Kaminga. Being defensive. Well, he says, well, if demand trades, there's got to be a demand for you. Well, I don't buy that. There's teams interested in Kaminga.
Of course they are.
I think teams are doing is decreasing the value of certain players by not playing them, not doing things, giving them opportunities, and this trade value plummets. And then
Golden State, that's Golden State's fault there. That's their fault. Golden State
is for them.
Shooting themselves in the foot, by not playing it. See, but I think he's going to take care of that in the next few weeks. I was saying Kaminga will take care of that in the next few weeks because they're forced to play him. They're forced to play him, and if he do what he's supposed to do, he'll be fine. He shouldn't have signed with him in the first place
because each player is like a playing card. So you have to come up with the scheme or formula based on the cards in your hand. That's where you earn your medal as a coach, in my opinion. There's no predetermined things. You're working in the context of who's available and you should be able to come up with things that are conducive for Kaminga and still add value to the team, man.
The greater conversation would be is if we could have ever heard what the conversation between Kaminga's agent and Steve Kerr, based on what he really thought his reasons for him to develop, to him trusting him, would have been. Because for some reason, because Kaminga decided to sign back with Golden State, you know, and so now it's like, whoa,
True.
now he's like, he's probably sitting there going, man, why did I do this? Why did I sign to come back here? You know, so you want to know what was that
Of course he
conversation?
said that.
You know,
I got a question for you, fellas. We're winding down here. I got a question for you. What do you guys think about the challenge rule, the format of the challenge rule? I'll reserve my thought. Go ahead, Craig. What do you think about the NBA challenge format, the way it's set up?
well, I don't know. It's tough because when you were talking about it, I was just listening to. Oh, I was just watching. I was watching the. Was it Charlotte game? Yeah, the Charlotte game, and there was something that went on.
You saw how what happened to. You know what? I'm
Right.
glad you said Charlotte game. Not to cut you off, but you remember
Yeah.
they lost their challenge earlier in the game, and then they got
Right.
effed out about 4 or 5 calls because
Right.
they didn't have any challenges. And the ref
They didn't have any
decided to be able to
challenges.
be effing them too.
Yeah, and then
What
and
you
then
get one and a half or what?
no, you get one.
No,
well,
you
if you don't, you get one challenge.
you get one challenge. If
Yeah.
you win that challenge, you get an
The whole
additional
game?
challenge. But if you win the next challenge, then you're done for the night. Anyway,
You get one the
regardless,
whole
you only
entire
get
game.
max
One
2
challenge the whole
challenges.
game.
You get one
I'm sorry.
challenge. If you lose that challenge, you're done. But
You
if you
don't-
win
and
that
you
challenge,
lose your timeout,
get
and you lose your timeout.
Yeah,
and you lose the
yeah,
timeout.
I
But
know
if you
that part.
win the challenge, then
Yeah.
you get another challenge. But then after that, if you win that challenge, you're still done. So that
Yeah.
means after your 2 challenges are up, even if you've had 2 successful challenges, you still lose your challenge ability. That needs to change.
No, they should at
Yeah,
least get
but
You
how
one
keep
per
many?
winning
half.
your challenge.
How many do you go? How many do
You
you
get- you
get?
get one per
There
half.
we go. Now
No.
I think
I
you
say
get one
it
per
like
half.
this.
That's
I'm
what I
just
think.
I'm just throwing it out there. Get one per half. If you get that one right, that goes over to the second one as well. That goes to the second half. So now you have 2 for the second half. If you get that one right, that will stop them, the refs, from
But
being
what if
able to F the game over.
No, but they can. Okay, I don't agree with that because
Why?
if you get the first challenge and it's successful, and then you get another, and that other one goes to the next half. No, I think you should have 2 automatic challenges, one in each half. But you get
Yes.
to ride that one challenge as long as you're making, because you're not. All you're doing is correcting the mistake. So you shouldn't get penalized because you corrected a mistake. So if you have a challenge and
Yes.
then you win your challenge, you get another one. And then
Okay,
you
that's
get
cool.
another
Yeah.
one. And that one in the second half doesn't go away if you keep winning challenges, because all you're doing is cleaning up mistakes.
I can see that. That's not a
Because
problem. I can see
Craig,
that.
wait, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I cut you off, Craig.
No, I could see that.
Craig.
I could see
Craig.
that because I saw
Yeah.
yes, because I saw it happen in the game today, and then it was, oh, I know what it was. It was Williams. They had called a block on the
Clean
kid
block.
from a clean, but it shows Williams dipping his shoulder into his chest and throwing it into him. So they called it the offensive foul. So the challenge was changed.
Yes.
And then I think it was down at the
That's right.
other end,
Okay.
something happened. And I can't remember how that went, but I was watching that. So yeah, it's
Yeah,
It-
I saw a couple times where there was some bad calls, and even the announcer says, "Well, unfortunately, they don't have any challenges." That should never have to be the case. I mean,
That's not cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you mean,
yeah. So
what do you mean?
That's true.
they'll
not cool.
clean
I
up.
can see
They'll
that. Like
clean
you
up.
said,
I think
you
they'll
keep
clean up
them
the
until
rule.
if you lose one.
I could see
Anyway,
that.
fellas, believe it or not, fellas, we are at the end of another
Enlightenment,
knowledge exciting show, hopefully. To all you guys, all you ladies and gents that hung with us, we appreciate you. If this is your first time watching, please like, please subscribe, please share. Everybody share. You know, tell your friends about us if you think this is worth listening to. Like I said, it was just three guys having a conversation. We're here every week. We got a lot to, obviously we're Garless and have a lot to say. I run my mouth. Craig runs his mouth. We got to get Ed to talk more. But Ed, the thing about all of us is that we are the three wise men. Now, I know that sounds pompous, but we really, I'll challenge you fans to, when you listen to our conversations, pay attention to what's trending the next week or so after our show, and you'll be amazed how on point we actually are. Fellas, any closing thoughts?
That was the point.
We hired Mark Jackson.
Somebody's hired.
Somebody hired Mark Jackson.
I saw. Can't believe everything you see, but I saw that that's okay. I saw that Steve Kerr may not sign next year, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace.
All right.